Thank you, ma'am, for the blissful appeal to the Almighty. A smile is a universal welcome, but to make your presence felt can be conveyed through welcome regards. I would now request and invite Dr. Pankaja K, Head Department of CSC, for the welcome regards.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Every research starts with the opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. Good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais of the dais, and morning to all the audience who have joined online across the globe. On behalf of our NCT family, I thank our chief guest, Dr. Nagesh Pujari, guest of honor Dr. Titapan Ganuk Ratna, TPC Chair, Dr. Chanakya Kumartha, all the participants, HODs of various departments, faculties, students, for joining us at this 3-day IEEE 4th Global Conference for Advancement in Technology 2023. Welcome to all. We have 300 plus participants enrolled for this conference, which indicates how important the conference is for all of us. This is the 4th year we are organizing mega event in a blended mode. The main aim of this conference is for the betterment of all faculty fraternity and students, which leads towards research as well. It is also important to know that conference like GCAT draw people together and learn from each other with new technologies emerging. And I'm glad to say that your presence here has a purpose. In this regard, I take this privilege to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Nagesh Pujari, Business Advisor, IPG Automotive. Welcome you, sir. I request Dr. Yogesha Hilsi, Associate Director, IQAC, to welcome our chief guest with knowledge bouquet. I also welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Titapan Ganuk Ratna, Professor at King Mongkut's University of Technology, Thonburi. Welcome you, ma'am. I call upon Dr. Sayer, HOD DL Data Science, to welcome our guest of honor. Now, I welcome our TPC Chair GCAT, Dr. Chanakya Kumar Jha, Senior Member of IEEE Mumbai. Welcome you, sir. I request Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Hatture, HOD of ICE Department, to welcome. I also welcome Dr. S.G. Gopalakrishna, Director of NGI, to this program. I now call upon Dr. Vijayanand, HOD of AIML, to welcome. Now, I welcome our dynamic principal, Dr. B.V. Ravishankar, principal of NCET, to this program. I call upon Dr. Geetanjali, HOD of MBA department, to welcome our principal. I also take this privilege to welcome Dr. Nagesh N, HOD ECE department and also the convener of GCAT. I call upon Professor Nandakumar, ECE department, to welcome. I also take this opportunity to welcome Srimati Banu Chaitanya, COO, NGI, in her absentia. Last but not the least, I welcome and thank all the participants, HODs, faculty members, participants, and online, offline, to this program. Enjoy this upcoming session. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Mahatma Gandhi once said, even a single lamp dispels the deepest darkness. To make this ceremony a blessed one, let us invoke God Saraswati by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. May I request and invite all the dignitaries to light the lamp and formally inaugurate GCAT 2023. Thank you, dignitaries. Selected research papers, extended abstracts, and work in progress reports received in reference to the call for papers of this conference have been completed and edited in the form of conference proceedings. We now request the Chief Guest Dr. Nagesh Pujari, Guest of Honor Dr. Tittapon Ganup Ratna, and all other dignitaries to kindly release the conference proceedings. Dr. Nagesh K, Professor and HOD Department of EC, also the convener of this program, to brief about the procedure and protocols followed in conducting this conference.
A very good morning to one and all present here. I, Dr. Nagesh K, Professor and HOD Department of ECE, feeling deeply honored to brief about the procedures and protocols followed in conducting IEEE 4th Global Conference for Advancement in Technology 2023. Technically co-sponsored by IEEE Bangalore section, organized by Department of ECE, CSC and ISC from 6th October to 8th October. GCAT 2023 title Global Conference for Advancement in Technology. Goal of organizing this conference is to share and enhance the knowledge of each and every individual in this fast moving information era. As a first step towards conference, papers were received from all the corners of the country. Deadline to submit full paper was 30th August 2023. Acceptance notification was published on 15th September 2023. I was really amazed to see the impressive registration. Total number of received paper are 1,452. Total number of paper registered after final peer review is 305. Acceptance ratio is 22%. We are delighted to inform that we have received papers from 28 different countries like Australia, UK, USA, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, Philippines, etc. We have eminent session chairperson from reputed organization and industry who will be chairing the different tracks: computational intelligence, AI, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, image processing, antennas, instrumentation and automation, power electronics and computer networking. It was a methodological process we followed, and it is an effort from past 1 year to plan, process and to conduct this conference. All the accepted and presented papers will be submitted to IEEE Explorer, and it will be indexed with the world's largest and abstracting services like Scopus, EI and many others. I thank NCET management, director, principal, HODs, ECE department, CSC, ISC, data science, AI department staff members for their continuous support and effort in organizing and executing this conference in smoother running way. I wish all the participants a very all the best, and I am sure a lot of knowledge sharing and learning is going to happen entire 3 days. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir, for the fine detailing about the conduction of the conference. Recognition is an affirmation of all the hard work, dedication and commitment one has put to reach their goals and to make a difference in their own lives and in the lives of others. Now it is time to felicitate our chief guest Dr. Nagesh Pujari, guest of honor Dr. Tapon Ganokaratna and TPC chair Dr. Chanakya Kumar Jha. I would request all other dignitaries to do the honors.
Next month, bani. Bani. Ready, sir? Okay. Wait.
Innovation is seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. We have one such creative thinker, distinguished personality amongst us today, Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Nagesh Pujari, Business Advisor, IPG Automotive. Before we hear from him, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the Chief Guest of the Day. Dr. Nagesh Pujari is currently working in IPG Automotive for virtual test driving as a business advisor. He has pursued his PhD from University of Mysore, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in the area of algorithm development, speech processing, speech recognition, computer vision, image processing. He has completed executive education programs, organizational leadership from Indian Institute of Management, Bengaluru. He has total 20 plus years of experience including industry and research. Previously, he has worked for Continental, a German MNC, as a location leader, product line safety, head of computer vision and lead technical architect. He has worked for 7 years in Research and Innovation Center, Middle East College, Oman, as a head and research coordinator. He has been a part of Tata Elxsi as a specialist and was responsible for research, design and implementation of algorithms and support of systems in the area of image, audio and speech. We are very much delighted, happy and it's our pleasure to have you here amongst us today, sir. I would now request sir to address the gathering.
So, very good morning. First of all, thanks for the kind introduction. Hope I'm audible. Yep. Respected Director, Professor Gopalakrishna, respected Principal, Professor Ravi Shankar, and IEEE 10, Section 10, and I think Subcommittee Coordinator, Dr. Chanakya Kumar, and also the guest of honor, Dr. Titapon Gunakaratna, and conference convener, Dr. Nagesh KM. My dear friends, faculty, students, and researchers. So first of all, congratulations for organizing such a reputed conference in Bangalore. IEEE is one of the top tier 1 conferences, and we would like to see many of such conferences in Bangalore and all over India. And specifically thanks to the organization for conducting such a conference in Bangalore and inviting me to deliver a keynote, as a chief guest, and also to address the researchers. I would like to share some 3 topics with you today because my time is 5 minutes, so I'll try to keep it within 5 minutes. The first of all, it's an eminent conference. The publications will be submitted to IEEE Explore, and it will be there forever. And all the publications will move with you until you are alive in the world. It will be there forever. Your contributions will be referred for generations altogether. But what is more important is the cutting edge research and also the peer review. I think everybody knows about Fourier, right? Joseph Fourier. I think many of you must have studied Fourier transformation during your academics. And what do we learn from him? I think in 1800, he started working on a formula that everybody now knows as Fourier transformation. And when we started that particular study as a heat equation, he submitted that particular work for a journal, and it was rejected. And who were the reviewers? It was Laplace, it was Lagrange, and also there was another famous mathematician, Lagrange. So all these people were like top mathematicians of that day. Everybody knows Laplace transformation. Everybody knows Lagrange's theorem, right? And Lagrange, the other third one is also quite famous. So all of these guys thought that this particular work lacks the intellectual rigor, and they rejected it. But the Fourier did not lose hope. Getting paper rejected those days was kind of a great, probably is not an insult, but it was a great demotivation, because those days there are no conferences. That was the time of Napoleon. Okay, so one good thing about Napoleon was that Napoleon was always promoting these mathematicians because they were the great strategists. They were helpful during maybe planning for the city or a war and all of those things. So that was one good thing about Napoleon. So Fourier did not give up. He started, he continued to work on it, and then eventually he published the work in 1822. And today, every industry, maybe communication or the technology, most of the engineering fields, every company uses Fourier transformation directly or indirectly. It's a trillion dollar business over there. Had Fourier demotivated those days that, oh, my work was rejected, I will now continue working on it and waste my time on it, instead he pursued. Similarly, there is another person, his name is Kelly Morris, and he's a chemistry scientist. Recently in 1986, he published an article related to DNA amplification. And again, that was rejected. He worked almost for maybe a decade, and finally he published the article. And then it was rejected. But then he pursued, and he got it published in the journal Science in 1987. Exactly 5 years after publishing that work, he got a Nobel Prize in chemistry for that particular work. So what I wanted to say is that it's good if your papers are published, but sometimes if your papers are rejected, if your work is rejected, it doesn't mean that it is not good. Most of the time, the original work cannot be peer reviewed. What is peer review? The people who peer review, they peer review against the existing knowledge. There is always a reference. So you peer review against a reference. But whenever it comes to a new research, cutting edge research, totally new knowledge, you don't have any references to peer review. So chances are very high that such a work is always kind of rejected because there is no reference. So that's why in the scientific community always there are pros and cons, and there are the critiques questioning the concept of peer review itself. But peer review is really important just to ensure that the work goes really well, and then always somebody to check the integrity part of it, the contribution part of it. But then whenever it's the original work, there's a lot of responsibility that falls on the shoulders of the reviewers itself. So most of the time, the conference convener mentioned that 1,500, 1,450 papers have been submitted. The acceptance ratio is around 20%, 30%, but then the large chunk of papers were rejected. But how many conferences happen all over the world? How many papers are rejected in this ratio? And there must be some good work out there which is originally now, it may be rejected. So it's also our responsibility to pick and then support, even if it is rejected, don't lose hope, pursue the research. Sometimes when you provide enough clarity, it will be accepted. Why am I saying it is important? How many of you knows Alex Sazowski? Alex Sazowski? At least AlexNet? Okay. Alex Sazowski is one of the researchers. He was a research student in Toronto University. And there was a competition by ImageNet. The competition name was ImageNet. That was in USA. And this student, along with this professor, he was a PhD student then, participated in that competition. And then the rest is history. He won the competition. He just modified the neural networks. Instead of extracting features, he just split the images into smaller blocks and trained the network. He used NVIDIA GPU and he trained it, and then finally he won it's a great story. You can read it in Google. And then now everybody talks about AI, deep machine learning. He is arguably he is a founding father of deep machine learning, because only after him deep machine learning came into picture. He was the one. And many of the time people even say that he is the father of, one of the fathers or maybe founding fathers of artificial intelligence, modern artificial intelligence, because every day, everywhere right now, you talk about ChatGPT, you talk about all of those things, is the fundamental work is from that particular student. So it is not just publication, sometimes it is also important to focus on participating in these global forum events, something like the ImageNet competitions or any other competitions. So that is where the cutting edge research gets the recognition. Now the second topic is about the importance of commercializing the research. So we have so much. If you look at India itself, we are the fastest growing GDP, right now 7.8%, and everybody is interested in India because of the growth of our GDP ratio. Right now we are the 5th largest economy. I think in another, maybe 2030 we will become the 3rd largest economy. By 2040 we want to, the projection is that we will become the 2nd largest economy. If you look at the number of publications in India, so we are in the 4th rank, global rank. But if you look at the per capita publications, we are far behind. We are in 150s. If you look at USA, which is in the 2nd row, right now they have 2,500 publications per capita. We are only at 150, but our population is very high, so we are there. But then the gap between China, which is the number 1, and the 4th, we are at 4th, is very high. They are 4 times bigger than us in terms of publications. But still we are 4th in the world. But if you look at the Global Research Innovation Index, we are at the 40th position. We are the fastest growing GDP. We are fast to become the largest economy. Our, the publications and numbers are huge, 4th in the world. but still in the innovation index we are lagging behind. Why is it? So there must be something wrong. It only means that we are not innovative. We publish the research, we are good in research probably, but we do not translate that research into innovation into product or maybe services. If you look at Nordic countries like Sweden, Switzerland is number one in the innovation index. And all of these Nordic countries, they are like high on innovation. Sweden is also called as innovation country because most of the innovations, most of the unicorns come from Sweden. You talk about IKEA is from Sweden, Electrolux, Spotify, and Skype, Volvo. Most of these companies, even a Truecaller, most of you use Truecaller, right? So Truecaller is also from Sweden. The students invented it, graduate students for their own purpose, and then it became a business. So most of these innovations have come from universities and academic institutions with the support of their mentors, professors. Maybe we need to, if you want to become a 5 trillion economy by, let's say, I think the government has ambitious plan, right? So, and also it's important to note, it took 60 years for India to become a trillion economy. In 2007, after independence, in 2007 we became a trillion economy. After 2007, our growth is quite exponential. And now, right now we are a 3.5 trillion economy. And in another couple of years, there's a huge plan to touch the 5 trillion economy. And if you want to reach there, we need to have many unicorns in India. So research, all these publications, all these innovations should not remain as research publication or a patent. It has to translate into a product and maybe a startup, or maybe some kind of a service. And we have the potential, right? And we need to have the right ecosystem. The ecosystem in the sense the mentors, and also maybe the environment, space, venture capitalists. Right now, we have everything. So I also kind of advise student friends to focus on these aspects so that we become a technology-driven economy. The last topic is, most of the time people ask me about, what is the research area I need to focus on, or what is if there are some students, they always say that, what is the job area I need to enter into? It's always an interesting question, and you can't really answer it because there are so many factors, because it depends on your interests, your, the academic background and all of those things. Recently I came across a person, he's from US. His expertise is on investment. He's not a stockbroker, but he is more into investment. He invests a lot on equity and startup companies and things like that. His name is Chamara, and he was saying that the energy cost is going to will become zero eventually. The computing cost will be zero, and the AI will be everywhere. And now you decide where you want to be. If you want to remain relevant, consider these aspects and then choose your field. Cloud computing has come, and then because of the cloud computing now, computing has become very kind of affordable. You can buy a service and you can just do any kind of computations. And the NVIDIA chipsets and all of those things have also, the cost has come down, but the computing power has gone up. Most of the semicons is the same story. So definitely the computation cost will be zero because of the wind energy, solar, and all of those sustainable energy interventions. The energy cost will be definitely over a period of time, definitely will come to zero. And AI, because of now generative AI and everything. So if you want to write a speech for a conference or maybe a paper for a conference, it can generate, and it is ChatGPT generated so nicely, right? Most of the students must be using ChatGPTs to submit assignments, and It does a wonderful job. So AI will be everywhere. So my advice is that look into these aspects and focus on research, innovation, and productization of the research. At the same time, in India, the 50% of the workforce, they are coming from the agriculture background. They are not into AI or any engineering or technology. The 50% of the workforce in India focus on agriculture. And agriculture contributes 18%, I think 18.8% right now to the Indian GDP. So we can do a lot over there, and AI can play a critical role in improving and getting the maximum out of this from the agriculture sector, because it's huge, but it's contributing only 18%. So these are my some suggestions, and I wish you all the best. Enjoy the next sessions, and thank you for inviting me to the conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your knowledgeable words and sharing your findings and opinions with us today. There is no force more powerful than a woman who determined to rise. We have one such eminent educationist, diligent researcher, guest of honor, Dr. Tittapon Ganokaratna, professor at Applied Computer Science Program, King Marcus University of Technology, Thornbury. Before we hear from her, I would take this opportunity to introduce the guest of honor of the day. Dr. Tittapon Ganokaratna received the BSc degree, first class honors and gold medal in media technology from King Marcus University of Technology, Thornbury in the year 2015, and Masters of Engineering and PhD degrees in Electrical Engineering from Chulalongkorn University in the year 2017 and 2021. She is currently working as a professor in the Applied Computer Science Program, King Marcus University, with a specialization in computer vision, machine learning, and human-computer interaction. She is responsible for the master program in data innovation and intelligent system. She leads various research projects funded by the National Research Council of Thailand in the field of machine learning for human-computer interaction application. She works with the Royal Thai Police and Royal Thai Armed Forces, where she received the Royal Monogram PPR Brooch Investiture from His Majesty King Pro Pak Klau and Her Majesty Queen Rambai Varni of Siam at the Army Artillery Club Anti-Aircraft Artillery. She won 1 gold medal, 2 silver medals and 1 bronze medal from the 48th International Exhibition of Innovation of Geneva, Switzerland. She received the Outstanding Academic Research Award from King Marcus University. She won the IEEE HKN 2015-16 Outstanding Chapter Award winner and was the first runner-up in the 3-minute thesis competition. She served as a keynote speaker, panelist, reviewer, session chair for various international conferences and journals. We are delighted for gracing this event, ma'am. I would now request you to address the gathering.
Okay, good morning. Hello. Okay, hello, good morning everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed delegates and fellow technology enthusiasts. And I also thank you very much for the very nice introduction. So let me briefly, shortly introduce myself one more. So I'm Tittapon Ganokaratna. I'm from King Marcus University of Technology, Thornbury, from Bangkok, Thailand. Okay, so it's really an honor to be here as the guest of honor at the 4th Global Conference for Advancement in Technology in the vibrant city of Bangalore. And actually this is my second time in Bangalore. I love the city, so thank you very much for inviting me to be here. Yeah, so this event is a testament to the power of human innovation and the profound impact that technology has on our world. So I want to express my deepest gratitude to all the organizers for organizing this remarkable event here. So as we gather for today's conference, we find ourselves in a unique and a pivotal moment in our respective fields. This conference also serves as a platform for the exchange of ideas and the forging of new collaborations and the exploration of innovative solutions that we face in our today's challenges. So innovation has been the driving force behind the remarkable progress we've seen in recent years. From the smartphone, today everyone has smartphone, right? So from the smartphone to the autonomous vehicle in our roads. So these are a type of technology that has transformed every aspect of our lives. It has enabled us to connect, communicate, and collaborate in ways that we were once unimaginable. But innovation is not just about creating the latest application or gadget. So it's about solving some of the world's most pressing challenges. It's about improving healthcare, addressing climate change, and bridging the digital divide. So as we gather here today, we cannot ignore the pressing global challenges that confront us: climate change, pandemics, inequality, and poverty. So these are just a few examples of the issues that demand our attention and action. Technology, I believe, holds the key to addressing these challenges. So in the fight against climate change, we see those technology related to renewable energy resources, smart cities, and sustainable transportation systems powered by technology. For example, like in healthcare, we witness the use of AI for early disease detection and telemedicine to reach remote communities. And technology can also bridge the educational divide by providing access to quality learning resources to every corner of the globe. I would like to share some experience. Earlier, I just have joined one of the distinguished forum on the science and technology. So there are some key points from the discussion on the climate change that I would like to share to all of you. So in the discussion, they mentioned that the world is at the midpoint of the UN 2030 agenda, but governments are not on the track that meets several of the sustainable development goals. Unprecedented climate events have coincided with health crisis and geopolitical conflict. Faster and more robust mitigation and adaptation efforts, especially consideration of vulnerable populations, are needed. As a scientist, we must provide best estimates of the impacts of the climate change in ways that the public can understand and that motivates them to take adaptive action. And moreover, education is important and should include indigenous and vulnerable populations as well. So, as I have mentioned earlier, we have dealt with a lot of technology right now, and as Professor also mentioned that nowadays AI is everywhere, and there's a ChatGPT and everything, right? So we need to live with AI, okay? And as the developer, as the scientist, how can we live with that, or how can we, consider about the people who use that appropriately, okay? So great power comes with great responsibility. As we accelerate the pace of the technological advancement, we must do so with a keen sense of ethics and responsibility. We must ensure that the benefits of technology are accessible to all, regardless of their economic or social status. Talking about the responsibility of AI, so we think about the data privacy, cyber security. These are the issues that demand our utmost attention. We must also consider about ethical implications of emerging technologies. For example, like genetic engineering, autonomous weapons, also anomalous event localization, in which, in this topic, which is considered as one of the approaches that based on outstanding large model generative AI, and I will discuss this, on this topic later in the later session, okay? And that I have mentioned that we live with the growth of AI, so it's important to acknowledge that AI is already being used in the public in real world application. So to enable people to use it properly and to clearly understand it, so they need to be educated in the fundamental aspects of how AI works, what type of services or functions use AI. So our moral compass should guide us as we navigate these uncharted waters. The challenges we face are totally in the global level. Okay, so we require global solutions. No single country or organization can tackle these issues alone. We need international cooperation. We need more of the collaboration than ever. And we must come together as the global community of innovators, scientists, policymakers, and entrepreneurs to find innovative solutions to our shared challenges. Okay, so in closing, I want to express my profound optimism for the future. We are on the cusp of a technological revolution that has the potential to transform our world for the better. But it is also up to us as well to ensure that these technological advancements are harnessed for the benefit of all humanity. So as you engage in the discussions and collaborations in this conference, remember the power that you hold as the scientists, innovators. So let us work together to create a brighter and more equitable future for all. And thank you for your dedication to the advancement of technology. And I wish you all the fruitful and inspiring conference. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your knowledgeable, illuminating and inspiring words in briefing the importance of education and research, how it plays an important role, and also being updated in the newer technology. Leadership is the art of giving people a platform for spreading ideas that work. Today we have one such leader amongst us, Dr. Chanakya Kumar Jha, Technical Program Committee Chair GCAT, Senior Member IEEE Bombay. I would now like to take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Chanakya Kumar Jha. He has completed his PhD in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. He is currently a Senior Member IEEE Bombay and Technical Program Committee Chair GCAT. He is being a Director of Planning in Siddharth Group of Institutions, Pune. He is a coordinator of IEEE Smart Village in Maharashtra and advisor of IEEE Smart Village, IEEE Asia Pacific. He is the chair of IEEE Special Group of Humanitarian Technology, Bombay Section, and IEEE Site Subcommittee member of USA. He is been awarded as the youngest social educationalist of Digital India by Education Post 2016, Best Research Paper Award by Wycombe Shanghai in the year 2012, and the Appreciation Award from Diyala University Iraq Government for the research coordination. He's been a distinguished speaker, reviewer, conference chair, and various international conferences and journals. In research front, he has published 40 papers in highly quality reviewed journals and conference, one book Age by New Age publication, 38 patents, and visited total 12 countries for the associate work for the research and innovation. We are happy to have you here with us today, sir. I would now request sir to address the gathering.
Very good morning to all of you. I think you people know that I am looking activities here for the TPC, Technical Program Committee. So on the behalf of Technical Program Committee of 4th GCAT, Global Conference of Advancement in Technology 2023, it is an honor to address this distinguished and auspicious occasion for the inaugural function of the 4th edition of Global Conference. I am very thankful to the committee members, especially Honorable Director of Nagarjuna Society, Dr. Gopal Krishna sir, respected principal of the Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology, Dr. Ravi Kisan sir, Ravi Shankar sir, and all the management committee
of the trust and society to provide opportunity. For me, it is not only for me, for all the students of the Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology and the students outside of this campus, so that we are here to gather, to exchange our knowledge, to know about the technology, to know about the advancement of technology. And actually, this is the theme of the conference, the advancement in technology beyond the global boundaries. And that the reason behind to fixed and finalize the name is the Global Conference for Advancement in Technology. The Global Conference of Advancement in Technology, GCAT, the first GCAT was started and initiated in 2019. In the 2019, we published 181 papers. Again, in 2020, the Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology organized the next conference, but it was not the second GCAT, it was the first InnoCon. And the second conference was organized in 2020. In the second GCAT, we published 258 papers. In 2021, we organized the third GCAT. In the third GCAT, we published 287 papers. So almost around 726 papers has been published on the platform of the GCAT. It doesn't matter how many papers has been submitted and published through the global conference, but it always matters how many people are associated with this conference. And really, it's a proud privilege to share you all that we are associated with the 2,176 research scholars in this conference since the inception. It is not only the 2,100 or 2,200, but it is very good, and really it is a subject of pride, proud also. The GCAT is associated with around 100 universities among the globe. And this is the reason behind the publicity and the support that we are receiving in each year to organize the conference. In this conference also, we have total 37 sessions coordinated and controlled and coordinated by the 37 session chairs. It was difficult really to review the paper in time to provide all the research, outcome research, acceptance paper, acceptance in time. But GCAT this time also, as previously, we provide the acceptance notification approximately on the time. Because we have a good team of the reviewers, 126 reviewers are working in the association with the global conference. We have 12 tracks: antenna, VLSI, microwave, computational intelligence, other technology including the IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, including all. We have image processing and other different activities. We have total 12 tracks in this conference. All the 12 tracks have been divided into 37 sessions, and this will be the total 3 days of the conference. All the 37 sessions will be divided in the 3 parts. The philosophy of having both academics and industries practitioners rubbing soldiers within the GCAT gives this conference a unique and significant character. The industry experience papers give this conference an important and new dimension, and this is one of the remarkable achievements of our technical program committee, of our publicity committee. So really I am very thankful to the publicity committee of the GCAT, who has taken the rigorous effort to call the papers from the different arenas, different diversity, and this conference we received around 1428 research papers. But not all are the good, not all are the bad. Many papers has been rejected during the rigorous review process. There are many reasons behind the rejection and acceptance of the paper. So normally, many papers are from the out of scope papers. Some of the papers from mechanical, chemical or other background that are not acceptable because we are limited to accept the paper only as per the call for papers that is given on our website. Then the plagiarism, the plagiarism is now the serious issues. So we have binded about related to the plagiarism issues. So this is one reason. And after the technical quality and all those things. Because we don't compromise in the quality, and that is the reason around 20-25% is the only acceptance ratio that we have in our conference. While GCAT is the most important international conference in these fields, it reaches the extending through the significant number of international papers, not from the Asian country, other than Asian countries, also like the USA, UK, Ukraine, Russia, Malaysia, Singapore, Iran, Iraq, and many other countries. For this conference, we have the keynote speakers who will present at the conference area a truly stunning collection of academics and industry leaders in the field. So after examining the entire technical program and the program committee schedule, I am certain that you will have an exciting, stimulating, thoughtful and productive session during this conference. I therefore like to welcome you all in the campus of Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology, and on the behalf of my team, my reviewers team, the publication team and the committee, I welcome you all in this campus to attend in this conference. I am very thankful to the entire technical team, professors of this institution, HODs and other technical staff and academic staff to providing the different kind of support to organizing the conference. So thanks all of you and inviting me for this conference.
Thank you, sir, for the speak and span insight into the conference and briefing the significance of GCAT. A leader has the vision and conviction that a dream can be achieved. He inspires the power of energy to get it done. I am now honored and gratified to call upon eminent leader Dr. S.D. Gopal Krishna, Director NGI, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to all. Respected dignitaries on the dais, my dear colleagues, students, researchers, paper publishers, innovators, and last but not the least, the press and media persons who are here. First of all, I would like to congratulate the external team headed by Mr. Chanakya Jha and Harish Patil for giving us this opportunity and excellently working on the whole conference. See, getting some 2,000 papers across the world from 40 countries is not a joke, number one. Secondly, shortlisting them is a bigger challenge, which they have done excellently well. This is the external team. The internal team, headed by Dr. Ravi Shankar, has done a very meticulous job. Congratulations to you and your entire team, sir, for excellently handling this entire conference proceedings. Now, the guest of honor, Mr. Dr. Nagesh Pujari, was mentioning some of the points. I was also keenly thinking. Some few papers I was going through here are quite interesting. See, one interesting paper I saw was, in just 2 minutes I saw this. One of the interesting paper is, you can go through that, how do you bring in the distraction of the children from viewing the YouTube videos? Fantastic. I don't know what analysis they have done, but how are they going to handle this? How are you going to bring the children out of the YouTube for their usefulness? How do you do that? That's a very critical issue. The other one is, I was reading one article also on that. One more paper has come here. The driver's drowsiness, alerting the driver's drowsiness. When the drivers will get sleep, for example, when they are going in the highway, particularly during the early morning hours of 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. or so, they usually fall in sleep. They get the drowsiness. Yeah. And because of that, see, this is about the vehicle drivers. Imagine the train drivers, if they are drowsy. They have done, already they have implemented one technology in the Indian railways that the eyelid movement is monitored, and if the eyelid is not moving, that means the driver is asleep. He is getting sleep. So therefore, an alert will come, maybe a vibration or an alarm bell or something like that will come, so that the driver will be alerted and a lot of passengers are saved and their lives are saved. See, these are some papers which I have just gone through that. The other thing is, he was also mentioning on the mathematical equations of Lagrange, all that. I would like to quote one example from Srinivas Ramanujan, who was the greatest mathematician that our country has seen. Once he was asked, why don't you have any friends with you, close friends? He said, I could not find one. What is that? What do you mean by that? You cannot find a friend who is close to you, who can work with you? He said, they should be like the numbers 220 and 284. What is this? Everybody were shocked to see that when we ask Ramanujam about the friendship, he is giving some numbers, 220 and 284. Then he explained, you please go and divide this number from 1 to 220, if it is 220, and from 1 to 284 for 284. You divide the numbers which are divisible. They are called the divisors. 1 is any of them, 2 it is there, 3 is not there, 4 is there, 5 is there, then 10, 11, like this you go up to 220. Sum up all these numbers. Very interesting. You please write down these, students. You just go and do this exercise. You will understand the brilliance of Srinivas Ramanujan. These numbers, these divisors, when you add up, very interestingly, 220 divisors, when you sum up, they come as 284. 284 divisors, when you sum up, they give you the answer as 220. See, these numbers are complementary to each other. Therefore, the friend that I should have should be complement to me. Therefore, I am not able to find a good friend. See, what a magnanimous thinking and what a brilliance it is, mathematical brilliance. Today we talk of all these AI, everything. There are a lot of advanced computers. You have a lot of such advanced computers, machines, machine learning, everything is there. But during those days, even calculators were not there. When calculators are not there, if you are able to calculate and do something like this, fantastic brain power. That's what our Indian scientists have proved in Chandrayaan 3. Wonderful exercise they have done. Each component of the Chandrayaan 3 is a successful venture. The entire credit should go to the nation. All the scientists and the engineers who are working there, they have done an excellent work. Like this, the other one also, last Monday they have announced the Nobel Prize. You were talking about the Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize for Medicine they have announced. One, Katalin Karikó and Weizmann, they have got the Nobel Prize for Medicine. Very interestingly, in 1990, they were working in Pennsylvania. At that time, they met, each of them met in the Xerox shop. See the interesting thing. In the Xerox shop they met, they were discussing. Kariko was working on, I think, she was a biologist and molecular biology particularly, and Weizmann was working on immunity or immunization. Very interestingly, see, this Kariko was thrown out of Pennsylvania and she was thrown out of the campus, saying that what suggestion you are giving. They decided that both of us, if we can join together, we can produce excellent results. But people, they started criticizing these two scientists. But what happened? During Corona, companies like Pfizer, the pharmaceutical companies, big companies in US, they came and approached these two people to give vaccine for Corona. Fantastic. They made huge money after that. And more importantly, they have saved a lot of human life. That was very interesting. See, initially you may have criticism. When you do some research or innovation, there could be criticism, but don't worry about that criticism. Come out with your work and ultimately you will be successful. With these few words, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I wish this conference all the best. We would like to foresee many more such conferences, Mr. Chanakya sir. 2019, when you approached us, we have given the opportunity and we did the organizing everything. But later on, it was the Corona time, and because of that, we were forced to go for online presentation. It was at that time when we introduced the online presentation. After that, more of online and less of offline is coming up. Anyhow, the balance has to be done. 50-50 has to be done probably. I wish that in the days to come, most of our students, or many of our students, will be utilizing the opportunity that they get, interact with the people, see what papers they are publishing, what are the areas of work that they are concentrating. Please see all that, take clue from that, and try to work in the area in which you are interested. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. If your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, do more, learn more and become more, then you are an excellent leader. It's a matter of proud privilege to request and invite our own admirable person, Dr. B.V. Ravishankar, Principal in CET, for concluding remarks.
Namaste to all of you, distinguished guests on the dais, participants, my own colleagues, and budding technocrats are here, and of course well supported always by the press and media people. Concluding is very easy. Why? Because already many of them have already spoken about the important significance of this conference, global conference, with respect to the advanced in technology. Of course, technology is growing day by day, minute after minute. It is changing. And the only thing is this, we have to catch. And one of the guests of honor was mentioning, we have to live with the AI, otherwise it will leave you. Because the days are so. If you don't move with the AI concepts, then the AI will leave you and it will move forward and it will be advanced and you will become the obsolete. So likewise, the technology is growing. So, and another thing is research. In fact, I should really compliment. There were nearly 1,500 and plus articles. But when it was shortlisted, scrutinized and finalized, there were only 300 plus. That means it's approximately 20+%. Then the quality of the articles also comes into a picture. It is not that how many pages or the topics that I have chosen and written, but how well qualitatively I have quantified my research should make a difference. And most of the times, it so happens, the conferences are being conducted, papers are read or maybe presented, but thereafter, what action, follow-up action has been taken? What is happening to all those articles? And our chief guest was mentioning innovation and then productizing the innovations, commercializing. But today, what is happening to those things? I think young minds, I think you need to be very, very cautious about this. It is not that we go, stand, present and then finish it. No, thereafter, how you are taking it forward. And these conferences definitely will facilitate. You need to have many deliberations. And deliberations should lead to some sort of thought-provoking ideas. And the thought-provoking ideas should lead to some sort of, innovations. And you should not stop just because of the going through innovations. But finally, you need to see visibility. Visibility in the form of product. And again, you should not stop at the product. Having product, yes, I have achieved something. No. I think the product needs to be commercialized. And there has to be a contribution. For what? That's why we say always, whenever we talk about, because the science and technology, it is hand in hand. No technology without science. No science without technology. They have become part and parcel of the day-to-day of our human lives. And it is almost like, you say administration, if you talk about any office administration, likewise, science and technology is playing a very major role. And it's almost like a law and order today, science and technology. And therefore, anything that you do, especially the young minds, you need to always go with the thought-provoking ideas. Keep bothering your mind. Then only ideas will flow. And to get ideas, I think you need to involve into such conferences. Involve yourself into such conferences. Then at least borrow ideas. If not, you are not getting the ideas, borrow ideas. Work on it. And innovation doesn't mean something new, that you need to innovate something which is not exist. Not so. You can definitely bring in changes, whatever is already existing. So therefore, these are things will come only when you start involving yourself. And again, writing articles, yes, you write, at least start practicing. And because unless you start, if you begin to write, automatically, day after day, there will be an improvement. Because why? And also it was mentioned about the connecting, networking. So the networking connection should happen. You need to expand. The technology is meant for expanding. And we are talking about the global conference. Yes, we need global understanding, but applying locally. You have to be always keep updated global technology, but when it comes to your local, you should be able to apply to your local suitability. You have to see. So therefore, my dear friends, I think the deliberations is going to happen in these few days should be a thought-provoking, and we should give rooms for many sorts of ideas, and those ideas should be taken forward to bring them into reality. Hope such things are going to happen, and we are definitely waiting to happen all these things in these conferences, and please involve. And that's why always you keep telling, like, without questioning, don't accept. Without reasoning, don't ever explain. So without any outcomes, don't ever present. So therefore, all these things put together should lead to some sort of a visibility. That's where the people, especially the faculty fraternity. Now what is happening nowadays is, I'm very sorry to tell, the faculties are not keeping themselves upgraded. I'm very sorry, with a sad note, I want to tell this. The faculties they think that their job is only to go and teach in the four walls and then some notes preparation and go and disseminate and over. No, I don't think so. Unless the faculties, the teaching fraternity, keep themselves updated and they go and move with the technology, I don't think that they will be able to do justice to the next coming generation of the engineers. So my humble submission is, please, whenever such opportunities are given, please grab those opportunities. Take some time out of your busy schedule and sit and then have some sort of thinking and bring out some valuable contribution to yourself and to the society. Finally, what is that we do? All these conferences, every deliberations, all that is meant for social needs. Finally, you need to cater to the needs of the society. Until if I have a product but it's not going to be useful for the society, then having that product is useless. So therefore, whatever you think, whether it is big or small, no problem. No, we never thought Chandrayana will be so economical. It became so cheap. And you know the technology. Now the people have become so adapted. And who are those people who work for Chandrayana? 3. Not from any premier institutions. Not at all. All from the local institutions. That means to say anybody can do anything. Only thing is you need to have a focus, commitment and concentration, dedication, involvement and upgrading. So hope this is going to happen in these days, and after that also you are going to continue with whatever the deliberations which you have undergone, and you are going to see some sort of dimensions in the new technology, and that will be the meaning of global conference for global conference for advanced technology. That will be the real meaning of the conference. With these few words, I thank all the speakers who have shared their thoughts. In fact, please see why all these things are required is not that they have come here and say something. No, I think all of you should have really listened to them, and some few points should have taken down and should start thinking on those points. Then only ideas will flow. Otherwise, simply coming and physically present, but mentally not involving, it will not be of no use at all. So, thank you very much. Hope your stay is going to be comfortable. I think our Nagesh and entire team is going to look after all those facilities. Right? If there is anything, always you are welcome to meet me, right, and enjoy. And Bangalore, the people who have come from the other places of Bangalore, definitely close by, you have a very good Isha Foundation, Nandi Hills, many good places are there. You can also visit, right, in your busy schedule. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of encouragement and thoughtful words. Gratitude is a powerful catalyst for happiness. It's the spark that lights the fire of joy in our soul. With this cheerful quote, I would now like to request and call upon Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Yambature, Head Department of IAC, to propose the word of thanks.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel incredibly honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. First and foremost, I, on behalf of the organizing committee, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to guest of honor, Dr. Thitporna Gnanakota, King Marquardt University of Technology, Thonburi, for her constant support and guidance to organize this international conference and gracing the function. Thank you, ma'am. I extend my sincere and warm gratitude to Chief Guest of the today's function, Dr. Nagesh Pujari, Business Advisor, IPG Automotive. We will ever remain grateful to you and thank you for being with us today. Thank you, sir. I am gratified to thank Technical Program Committee Chair of Global Conference for Advancement in Technology, Dr. Chanakya Kumar Jha, Senior Member, IEEE Bombay. Thank you for your valuable time, sir. Thank you, sir. I extend my sincere thank you and heartfelt gratitude to Dr. H.G. Gopal Krishna, Director, Nagarjuna Group of Institutions, who always stand by us and motivate us. Thank you, sir. I am honored and delighted thank Dr. B.V. Ravi Shankar, Principal and Conference Chair, for his unwavering commitment and dedication. He's been an integral part of the program. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank the convener, Dr. Nagesh Kayan, HOD, Department of ECE, for making the efforts in successfully organizing this international conference at Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology. Thank you, sir. I am very much thankful to the Nagarjuna Education Society and IEEE Bangalore section. It would have not been possible to organize this conference without their support. I would like to thank all the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence. I am also very much thankful to all program advisory committee members and the invited speakers. Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to shape this conference. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by the team of very motivated and dedicated faculty and staff members of Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology. I thank them all. I extend my sincere and warmest gratitude to the program chair, Dr. Pankaj K, HOD Department of CSE, various department heads, faculties, press and media, and organizing committee members. Last but not the least, to our wonderful authors and participants gathered here, thank you for being with us. It has remained a pronounced pleasure. I feel proud and thank you everyone for making the event successful one. Thank you once again. Thank you.
I would request all the students and participants to stay back as we have a keynote session by Chief Guest of the Day, Guest of Honor for the day, Dr. Tittapan Ganokkaratna. Please stay back. I would request the staff also to stay back for the keynote session, please. ಏನಾಯಿತು ಸರಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ
ಇದು ಒಂದು ಹಾಕಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ
ಏನಾಯಿತು
ಮೈಕ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ
wait, first I'll introduce it. It's with great pleasure and excitement we have our esteemed keynote speaker, Dr. Titapan Nagarjuna, to grace the stage. Her wealth of knowledge, expertise, and insights promise us to inspire us all. Please join us in welcoming ma'am to the stage with a warm round of applause.
Is it come? Okay. But I need to speak over there, right?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, hello everyone. Once again, meeting me here. Okay, so today I also serve as keynote speaker, and for my topics for today is unsupervised anomaly detection for surveillance video. So, is anyone here has familiar with this topic or research area? Does anyone have worked on maybe image processing or video analysis? No? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we will learn together today. So I would like to share my research on, basically I focus, my research focus on video and image processing and also video analysis. Okay, so this is also one of my topics that we actually get the data from the CCTV cameras and then we implement it in order to analyze what is inside of that scene. Okay? So this is just briefly introduction of my background. So I have graduated from KMUTT in my bachelor degree, and I received first class honor and the gold medal. And then I got the scholarship to continue my journey. So I continue to study in master degree and PhD in Chulalongkorn University in Thailand. And during my PhD program, I also have the research collaboration with University of Trento in Italy. Okay. And yeah, so I am also the member of IEEE. So I was the president of the HKNU data chapter in Chulalongkorn University, and also the IEEE MGA committee member, and also IEEE Region 10 student activity member as well. So before we start with video anomaly detection, so we need to understand what is anomaly. Okay, so anomaly is something that is different from, you can say that if you have like majority of the patterns in the video scene, so if there is some object or some event that has different characteristics from the majority patterns of that scene, so that is considered as anomaly. Okay, so in video anomaly detection, or we can call it as a short name as VAD. Okay, so VAD here is the identification of items, events, or observations which do not conform to an expected pattern. So, for example, in this one, if you have the data from the CCTV cameras, and then usually in this topic here we have the real time and real world data set where people walking around considered as normal events. And if there are some vehicle passing by in the scene, or a person riding a bicycle, a person just plays skateboard, something like that, we consider as the abnormal event. Okay, so in here we would like to detect those abnormal events out from the scene. Okay, so how to do that? We will explore this together. Okay, so let's see. So usually, as we talk about the monitoring system, we talk about security. So in the traditional way, we use human, right? So for example, like security guard, that they have to monitor the scene, they have to sit all day long and watch if there is anything abnormal even occur. But this can be, it can cause fatigue to them, and also we cannot trust, as human can also have the emotional bias as well. So that's why we need to develop the intelligence system that can analyze and classify whether is there any abnormal event in the scene, and can give the real-time notification. Okay. Yeah. So when you consider to work on this, VAD, so the thing that you need to consider, there is a lot actually. Like the first one is about the scene. So for example, in the CCTV camera data set, you have the crowded scenarios. Like in this room. Okay, so we have a lot of people here. So how can you detect only the object of interest from this scene? Okay, so this is one thing that we need to consider, like how can you work with the crowded scenes. Okay, and another thing is about the lack of abnormal training samples, because normally we have a lot of normal samples. For example, if you think about the fraud data, like in the transaction of the credit card, something like that. So usually there is a lot of normal pattern, a lot of normal data. There is just a few of the fraud or the few of the anomaly things that happen. So this means that we cannot take all of the abnormal data to train. Okay? Because if you would like to apply the system in the real world application, it's gonna fix the event that will be occurred. But usually in real world we cannot know, right, what will happen in the next few hours. We don't know what will happen. So we cannot just fix, or we cannot just label abnormal events. So one thing, this is like we need to consider the approach that we would like to implement the data. So if you fix with the label, so it's like you do the supervised learning. Okay, but in this work, we actually, the team, me and also the Professor Nikusebe from University of Trento, we do the research and we found that the best way to handle this type of problem is to do the unsupervised based learning approaches. Okay, and okay, so another thing that is very important is about object localization. Okay, it's not about detection. It's not only about detection, but also the localization. It means that you need to know exactly where that object goes to. Like from this frame, maybe like me, at this moment I stay here, right? And then I come here, like this, right? So you need to be able to track the movement of the object in the scene. So this means that you cannot consider only the appearance of the object. You also need to consider about the time frame. Because video consists of a lot of image frame. Then we need to understand, okay, in this exact frame here, we interest in this object. And then in the next consecutive frame, we also interest in that object, but it may be moved a little bit forward. So you also need to be able to, to detect, track, and localize that object. Okay, and so from this slide, you can also see that, can you see it? It's quite not clear, but from the arrow, so you can see that there is some object that is detected by the system, okay? Because because the data is not fully detected from the full appearance of the object. Like for example, from the below image here, you can see that actually the vehicle here is considered as abnormal event because it's different from the pattern of pedestrian walking, okay? But it's still misdetection. Yeah, so that is one of the problems. Okay, and this is another challenges that we need to deal with in this research. So this one is false positive anomaly detection. Okay, so have you heard about false positive before? Right? Okay, so in this one it means that when you would like to detect abnormal event, but the system just confused and it declared that the normal event is the abnormal one. So that's totally false, right? Okay, so in this one, we would like to reduce those false positives, which is very important because if you can reduce false positives, then it means that your accuracy will be enhanced. Okay, so for example, maybe at first you have this false positive around maybe 2% or 3% like this, but when you decrease it, so it means that the final output that you get will be more accurate. The pixel of the abnormal event will be detected. Okay, yeah. So to overcome these challenges, we need to consider two branches of information. As I mentioned before, that you need full appearance of the object. You also need the time frame information, right? So in this one, we call it spatial temporal branch, or you can call it spatial temporal information. Yeah. So spatial here is the appearance of the object, and for the temporal here is the time. The temporal representation. Okay. So we need to collect these two information in order to get comprehensive features for model to train. Okay. Yeah. So this is overview of the background and literature review. Just for the big overview. Okay. I'm not going into details because that's a lot. Yeah. So just to show you that, okay, if you are interested in the anomaly detection, this kind of research, so you can see that from the very beginning step, the raw input data here, you can feed into feature extraction. And then you can feed into the anomaly detector to be able to classify whether it is normal or abnormal. And there is a lot of technique from feature extraction and also from the anomaly detection as well. So it actually depends on your goal, okay? So if you consider both of spatial features and temporal features, so you can also use whether it's a traditional one, CNN, or in temporal features, you use optical flow, which is a very popular and successful approaches to detect the objects in temporal representative. Okay? And for classifier, there's also a lot of classifier, right? Naive Bayes, KNN, SVM, and if you choose in the branch of neural network. So there are also like CNN, autoencoder, and also generative adversarial network, in which I will explain more about this one because in this work we use generative adversarial network. Yeah, so this is just spatial feature information. Here I would like to show that in spatial feature information here, in the track of traditional versus the CNN approach. So you can see that for the traditional approach, you need to manually select the feature. Alright, like you need to set some parameters, you need to do like hyperparameter and setting everything, and it will be extract the feature from your input data. And then, when we get the feature, you can send it to trainable classifier. But that will take some time when you need to adjust everything, make sure it looks good at the end, right? But if you choose CNN, so CNN, it is a quite big architecture of network, right? So inside of CNN, it has a lot of layers. And those early layers is the feature extractor. So if you use CNN here, it consists of the low-level feature, mid-level feature, and high-level feature. So in this one, it also like helps you to extract the distinguished feature from the input image. Okay? And when you get that one, then you feed to trainable classifier. Yeah. So and this is the more Scopus or any database. You will see that they use a lot of deep learning approaches. So it's okay if you would like to explore traditional approaches like naive Bayes, never or SVM, but if you want to publish paper, they focus on novelty, they focus on originality. So I suggest you should focus on the neural network, but maybe you propose something that is novel. Maybe you do something with the architecture, okay, and provide a better performance of the system. Okay. So this is just an example that we use this network in anomaly detection. So in this one is autoencoder network. Okay. So this is the technique to compress the data to get the latent space. And it has the encoder and decoder, and then like it encodes the information to get the data to store in the latent space as the vector, and then it will decode it back like this. But when we gonna use the information, we're gonna use from the latent space that is stored here. It means that somehow it doesn't contain a lot of distinctive features. Okay, because it selected some of the best one, but also we can write some of the information. Okay, so that is the autoencoder. Another one is the generative adversarial network, or GAN. Okay, I think everyone heard of this word a lot in AI and machine learning. Okay, even ChatGPT also based on generative adversarial network as well, right? So actually, right now, I think GAN is used in almost every application. Did you see the application in Facebook where you just take your photo and then you become a superstar? So that is also generative adversarial network, right? Yeah. So this is proposed by Goodfellow. Okay, very successful approaches. And the idea of GAN is that it has the generator network and discriminator network. So the job of generator is to generate what? Generate the fake image. Okay, we feed the noise into the model of the generator. It tries to generate the fake image. And the discriminator here, the job of this one is to distinguish whether this output from generator is the fake or the real one. So another job of generator is that it's not only generate the fake image, but it's also try to fool discriminator that this is real, this is not fake, this is real. So it works like this. And so this is quite a bit complex because he also proposed like two networks. Okay, like from frame to optical flow, and then he transform optical flow back to frame and then concatenate it together. So it's quite a big framework over here. Yeah. And yeah, this is another work, FC and VAE. Okay, so in this one, it's quite similar to the first one that I mentioned, that they need to store the vector, like the latent space. So the problem is quite similar. Okay, so the accuracy is not that high because of the latent space. It caused the problem. Yeah. Okay, so it comes to my work right now. Okay. Yeah. So this is the first version. Okay. Actually, I have also published the improved version of this work, but yeah, we don't have more time for the detailed discussion. So actually, if you are interested to read more details of the second version, you can also search my name as well, and it will pop up. Okay, but for today, I will discuss about this one first. So this paper actually published in IEEE Access, which is the journal indexed in quartile one in Scopus and also Web of Science. Okay, and of this work is that we propose the DSTN, which is the method of this work, which transform information from spatial to temporal domain for addressing the anomaly detection and also localization. Okay? And we also do some fusion of background removal frame and the real dense optical flow and the concatenated spatial temporal features. And finally, we also propose the edge wrapping, which is the method that helps us to eliminate the unnecessary pixels to finally get the final abnormal event. Okay? And here is the training flow diagram of the DSTN. So in this one, you can see that we have the original frame, okay, from the. Actually, this data set is from the real scene, from CCTV cameras. Okay, we have original frame. We do the background removal because we would like to get only the foreground objects. And then we do the dense inverse search, optical flow. And then we fuse these two together because we would like to eliminate the noise, okay, in the background. We also do some hash extraction, and then we concatenate the frame of original and the background removal because we want to get a clear and like a full appearance of the object at the spatial representation. Okay, at the spatial representation. So that's the input for the generator. Okay. And then we feed this input to the generator, which consists of encoder and decoder. And we get the generated dense optical flow, or we call in this work as OFDEN. Okay? So in this one here is the generated image. It's not the original image. Okay? It's the image that is generated from the generator network. And then what's next? We feed this information into this discriminator network. And as I mentioned earlier, because it is scanned, right? So the discriminator will try to figure out whether this is like the real one or the fake one. And it checks like this, and it will improve the performance of the generator as well. Okay? For example, if the generator sends this object to the discriminator, and then discriminator said that, oh no, this is fake. It's totally fake, I can see it. It's no way the real image. So the generator needs to regenerate again. Because generator want to fool this discriminator that I provide you the real one, not the fake one like this. Yes, so it's kind of like this, and we also set some of the loss, okay? So yeah, so when it reached the ultimate loss that we set, so it will stop. Okay? So in testing here, everything quite similar except for can you spot on which part is different from the training framework. Can you see some part? Which part is different? Is it below over here? Yeah. So you can see that most of the part is quite similar to the training, except for this one. Let's see. Yeah, testing. The differentiation, right here. This one, right? This one and this one. Okay. So we have added these two approaches because in testing, what we do in testing, we feed all information into the model, right? But in training, we feed only normal event because it is unsupervised learning. It means that we want the model to know only normal pattern. So like I teach you, this is normal, this is normal, this is normal, so you should know what is normal. But in testing, we feed all information. Normal patterns, abnormal patterns, everything feed it into the model. And then when the model gets the unknown, we can call it unknown because it never faced these patterns before. So when they get the unknown patterns, so it just don't know what to do with that. Okay? So we need to subtract, we need to find the difference. So we find the difference between local pixels from the generated and the real image. Okay? And then we will find the possible abnormal event in the final output. But in this work, when we do that, we supposed to get like the perfect one, but actually we get some of the error, the false positive. Okay? So that's why we need to add the edge wrapping at the final step. All right, to eliminate the wrong point and everything, and to make sure that it contains only the shape of the abnormal events. Yeah, this is just some details. Okay, so dense inverse search optical flow here. It consists of patch correspondence, multi-scale aggregation for dense flow estimation and variational refinement. And for the fused dense optical flow here, we can also, as we fuse these two together, and there's some variable that we define in the paper. Okay? So there is some mathematical details, and yeah, I will not go much in this one. And the advantage of the fusion here is that it provides a sharp edge, less noise, and also good for ground object boundaries. And the patch extraction, okay? So in this version, I also design the size of the patch. But in the second version that I have mentioned earlier, I just use YOLO, okay? So depends on you, okay? If you would like to be more convenient, yeah, you can also consider YOLO as well. But actually this one is quite good to get the objects in in vertical perspective. Okay? Yeah, and how to prepare the data. Okay, so we have the concatenate patches of these two frames, original and the frame of background removal, and then we feed to generator network, and then you get the target. So it means that, okay, right now it means that the input one is what? Is spatial, right? Input is spatial representation. The output is it spatial? No, right? Yeah. The output is temporal because it's in the pattern of the movement right now in the optical flow. Okay? So it means that input is spatial, the output is temporal. Okay? Yeah, and here is the GAN. Okay, so we have encoder, decoder. We use UNet architecture. We use skip connection, or we can call residual connection. Yeah, and in this discriminator, we also have patch GAN, perform as the binary classification. So it provides faster learning because it has fewer parameters of the patch GAN. Okay? And yeah, so this is the objective functions. And optimization. Okay, so when you work on deep learning, you need to define your objective function to be able to optimize your model. Okay, so in this one, the GAN loss over here, we can call it L GAN here. So it is the loss of generator and discriminator. And we optimize the generator by using dropout in this one. And for the L1 loss, the second one here, so you can see that the Y is the target image. So we compare the target image with what? With the output from the generator. So it's like we subtract the real one with the generated one. We would like to find the error, the error that like how far that our generated from the real one. Okay, so we want our loss to be as close to zero, okay? Because we don't want our work to be like high error or anything like that, right? So we need to minimize this loss to be as low as possible, okay? And here is the optimization. So so we use a down optimizer with this learning rate and momentum parameters. And so this is how we do the differentiation. So we just find the difference from this off fields and the off gen over here. Okay, these two, and then we do the differentiation, we do the edge wrapping. So the calculation is right there. So if the result is greater than 0, it means that there is the possible abnormal events in the scene where the generator was not able to reconstruct the anomalous event in off-gen in the same way in the actual real data. Okay? And here is the final step of this DSTN. So we use edge wrapping. Okay, so in edge wrapping, it has like smoothing using Gaussian filter. They do gradient intensity, non-maximal suppression, and thresholding. All of these are in basic of image processing. Okay, so if you are interested to work with the image, you can start from the fundamental techniques, like how can you implement with the image, how can you know the location of the pixel of the image, like that. And this is how our experimental result conduct. So it has some data set, parameter setting, evaluation criteria, and experimental results. Okay. Just would like to show you that actually in this area, VAD here, it has a lot of data set, but the most popular one is right there. Okay. So it's benchmark data set. It is publicly available, so you can take the name and search, and you can also find the detail of the data set. So all of these are real world data set, and mostly it is the crowded scene and outdoor. Okay, but some of this one like has indoor scene, like UMN over here has some indoor scene, and the last one, CUHK Avenue, is the data set where it's quite challenging, this one, because some frame they use the camera, but the camera is shaking. So it means that the position of the object is not the same, right, between frames. So if you want to try that one, so maybe let me know what you find out. Okay. And so the setting is like Python. We use MATLAB with Keras. We use GTX 1080 Ti, NVIDIA, CUDA to run this work. And this is the evaluation criteria. So we need to know our results by using this ROC. Okay, so ROC here is the receiver operating characteristic, and it is the plot of the fraction between true positive and the false positive. Okay, so inside of this one you need to calculate like what is true positive, false positive, true negative, false negative. And we also consider the area under curve or the AUC. Okay, so in this one, the higher AUC represents the better performance, and the highest value of AUC is 1. Okay, so if your result of AUC is close to 1, that would be great. Okay, and we have also EER, right? Okay, so EER is also it represents the error, so the lower the better. Okay. And another thing that we also need to consider is about frame level and pixel level. Okay, so frame level is that you consider only that frame, like consider the accuracy of detection and localization on that frame only. But for the pixel level evaluation, you need to consider about the position of object in that frame. It's not just about like it can be anywhere, just see it and then it's done. It's not like that for the pixel level. Okay? So yeah, so this is the table that shows the performance of this one. So like this, so if you would like to publish paper, especially in Q1 journals like this, so you need to compare a lot. You cannot just show your result. You need to compare your result with other state-of-the-art works. That is really important to publish in good quality journal. Okay, so you need to compare with state-of-the-art, and you should compare in comprehensive aspect, like the accuracy, time complexity, yeah, something like that. So you need to not just accuracy or not just error, but the time as well. Yeah. Okay, so this is some demo of this work. You can see that this is from UCSD dataset, and this is from UMN dataset. So the UMN here is quite, I think it is the easiest compared to the other two datasets, because this one, the abnormal events is just running. Okay, you will see here. Right now they are just walking, and then suddenly it will run. People in the scene will run like out of nowhere. Yeah. So when they start to run, we consider that as anomaly, because why you run? You just walk around before and then you just run. Okay? So we detect that one, and this as well, CUHK. So this is the scene that recorded in front of the school gate. So normally people just walk around at the backside to the school, but there is this kid just jumping around, and another guy just throw the bag, throw the paper like this. So that's weird. Okay, so we detect that as abnormal. Yeah, and this is some of the still images of the results. Yeah, so you can see that we can actually receive promising results from this journal. And yeah, so this is just the comparison. I won't go into detail. There's a lot of slides of this one. So we need to compare a lot, like the residual connection, how can, like between residual connection and autoencoder, which one can generate the image better, like that, in the optical flow perspective. Okay? So we need to compare that, and we found that residual connection provides better result than autoencoder. We also need to compare in terms of pixel accuracy and SSIM as well to see how accurate it generates the image. And like for the background removal method, we also need to compare with one of the most successful method, GMM. Okay? So because people ask why you use this technique, why you use that technique, so you need to provide the proof, which is come from the experimental results. So you need to try, you need to experiment, and then you get the result, and then you can tell them, this is why I choose this method. Okay? Yeah, and the image, the impact of patch GAN and patch extraction. And so we also compare like the size of patch GAN. Yeah, in different sizes, and we found that the size of 64 by 64 provide the best results. Yeah. And even when you choose the threshold value, okay? So, for example, when you write a paper and then you just said, okay, we select this threshold equal to 50, and then the reviewer will ask you that why 50? Is there any value, or this is like why? They just ask why, okay? So you also need to, experiment more variation of values, and then you can also show them in the paper as well. Yeah, and this is also one of the distinguished point that we have to compare, because The DSTN itself is also provide promising results. We also can detect anomaly eventually. But when we add the edge wrapping as the post-processing, so it provides more accurate and even better results at the final object localization. So as you can see here, the above line is the result from the differentiation, and the bottom line here is the result of the reuse edge wrapping. Okay. So it's more concise, it's more accurate than the previous one. Yeah, so it's just conclusion of this work. So basically this one provides the fast. Okay, it's fast. It's around 30 frames per second, which is quite a real time in this work. And but we also have some disadvantages on the traditional method that we choose, because it's somehow not very robust with the illuminations. Okay, for example, we need to work with illuminations, shadows, angles, everything. Yeah, so that's why in the second work I used the pre-trained model like YOLO to help improve the system. So this is the second one. Okay, so not sure I have more, still have some time to briefly this one, maybe 5 minutes more, okay? Yeah, so just this one is the video anomaly detection using the residual spatial temporal translation network. And it's also published in pattern recognition letters, which is in quartile 1 and also in tier 1 as well. Tier 1 here is the top 10 of that journal. I mean, in that journal, it's one of the top 10 in that category. Yeah, so this one is very, very hard to publish. And it takes like 1.5 years to know the results as well. Yeah. But it's worth if you are considered to publish anything like this, so it's worth the waiting, okay? Yeah, so this is the training framework. So in this one, we have improved some of the aspects on the localization. Because from the previous work, we still face the false positive. Even we try to fix it with the edge wrapping, but it's not enough. There's still a room for improvement. So that's why we introduced the object boundary box information, and we also, when we go to testing, okay, we also use the online hard negative mining, and then we do the semantic region merging to, finally get the anomaly detection that actually help to reduce the false negative pretty much in this one, and we can enhance the accuracy of the localization and also the detection as well. Yeah, so this is the demo of the RSTN. So in this one, you can see that we can detect those movements, the abnormal events, like in real time, and also like in the precise shape of the abnormal events, better than the previous one. And this is the scene from the UCSD. This is from UMM. Yeah, so this is quite the improvement from the STN. Okay, maybe we can show the. Okay, yeah, this is great. So this is the still images. Okay, so the RSTN over here can correctly detect the localized abnormal events in the scene. Yeah. Okay, some examples over here. Okay, yeah, so this is like the improvement, okay? But anyway, it still has some, limitation, or you can say disadvantages, because it's quite big. I mean, the model of this one is quite bigger, and it takes time to run, okay? So if you're gonna apply this one as real time, maybe I think it's not that suitable because it's quite slow. But like previous one, it can apply in real time. So you can see the trade-off, whether you're gonna choose accuracy or you're gonna choose the time complexity, the running time. Okay? Yeah, so I think this is just a comparison. We can just show the results. Yeah. Pretty sure that the second one provides the best. Okay, so maybe we can go back to the previous one. Yeah, this one. This one, okay. So in this one is still image, so it's easy for you to see. From the DSTN here, it lacks some of the important pixels, you know. For example, like the vehicle over there, it couldn't detect or localize all of the age of the vehicle. Okay, but for the second one here, it can, you know, get the comprehensive appearance of the vehicle. Okay, yeah. So maybe we just go to the conclusion. Yeah. So basically, as we improve by using, you know, online hard negative mining to force the false positive to be the true positive. Okay, and as we use like the object detector, it also helps to improve on the robustness. We don't have to worry much about the illumination or anything because it's already pre-trained. Okay, but as you import a lot of things, like you use pre-trained, you use those techniques, so the model is bigger. Okay, so you need to understand that, and you need to like make your goal, whether you focus on the accuracy or you focus on the real-time, real-world application. Both ways, I think it can be novel, it can be like original, but you just make sure that you present it very clear, and which is your contribution to the work, and how is it impact to the society, to the community, like that. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think that is all for the presentation. Yeah, all the references. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention.
On behalf of NCT and GCAT, we express our sincere gratitude for your participation as a keynote speaker, ma'am. The presentation was knowledgeable and inspiring. I would now request Harish Pardhan, sir, Technical Program Chair GCAT, to hand over the token of appreciation.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
A small token of
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you again, ma'am. We are deeply grateful for your sharing your knowledge. Thank you, everyone.
Sorry, did I take
I
a
will request all the
long time, right?
to proceed for the few instructions. All the students, other students can please leave the room.